This conference will now be recorded.
So welcome to our support group. Looks like it's going to be a small group tonight, but always good to have new members because you usually come with a lot of questions and challenge our understanding and experiences. So how long have you been diagnosed with sarcoidosis?
I would say pretty much almost exactly a year, since they were pretty sure that, well, actually less than that, probably like 6 months when they were like, over 95% sure. We had some issues with a sarcoidosis doctor. Luckily, I go to the Mayo Clinic out here, and he came from, I believe, like the Cleveland Clinic. I'm not 100% sure, somewhere in Ohio, where like that's
Oh,
another big spot where they do treatments for sarcoidosis. So he was like, right off the bat, like 95% sure. But then the neurologists, they just were not sure at all what it was. They thought it was some sort of cancer that forms on it's real up high on my neck region. That's why they can't do it's like C3, C4 area, so that's why they can't do a biopsy. And the neurologist really had no clue, and they just started me on prednisone, 60 milligrams of prednisone a day, and we're like, let's see what happens with that. And
nothing good.
no, no, nothing good happens with prednisone. I'm down to 5 milligrams now, but oh
Wow.
my God,
Yeah.
I was an insane person on 60 milligrams of prednisone. So
No.
did not like my life at all when I was on that. But then it had already shrunk a little bit on its own before I started taking the prednisone, so that was good. And then it shrunk a lot more on the next MRI, and then the third MRI after that, it just stayed the same. So that, I mean, since I had such good news, it was just with the other MRIs, it was definitely a bummer that the third MRI, we didn't have any improvement. So I'd say, the sarcoidosis doctor, he was 100% like thought it was like 9 months a year ago, but the neurologists weren't sure until about 6 months ago.
What were your initial symptoms?
I only have had really well two major symptoms. One, I was extremely tired. I was, usually would stay up till like 11 p.m. and then just get up for work around 6:37. No big deal. But like I just started going to bed early and earlier, and then like it just got ridiculous that I was going to bed at like 8:30 p.m. and needing 11 hours of sleep every day, and just like just couldn't really do a whole lot. Like like any little thing that my girlfriend would ask me, I'd just be like another thing added to my plate. Like it was just insanity. I was just like, I'm like, I just finally got relaxed and I feel like I got a little energy, and now I got to, and it would be like something no big deal, and it just like drive me up a wall, just one little thing that she would ask me to do. So just the tiredness is probably that wasn't the reason why I knew something was wrong, though. That was just like a side effect. I I've had numbness in my right hand for a year and a half now. Would be
Okay.
that's when I started, like this is real weird. It started going up my whole arm actually, and they like I went to the emergency room and I'm like, there's something wrong, and they're like, oh, it's just a pinched nerve, blah 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 blah. I'm like, I really don't think so. I'm an avid workout person. Like pinched nerves wouldn't really be doing this, and but luckily, the numbness is slowly dissipating with the treatment, and it's still there. I haven't had a day in a year and a half where I haven't had the numbness, but my sarcoidosis doctor thinks, hopefully soon in the next couple treatments here that the numbness will subside, and then I have another full year of treatment after it's gone too.
Well, that sounds like it's in the right direction. I know a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of have
I
had.
don't know. I don't know if that's like good or bad, or if that's a long treatment. Like when he said like probably a year and a half of treatment, I was pretty much in shock. So
I mean, I can't just take a pill and it goes away.
I mean, no, they tried to start me on the chemo pill, but that was affecting my liver too much, and so I have to go in for infusions instead of taking the baby. I don't forget what it's called. They call it like a baby chemo pill, but that really messed me up on top of the steroids. So
Was it
luckily,
methotrexate?
yeah, that's exactly what it was, methotrexate. And that would really mess me up like the first couple days taking that, and then like by the end of the week I'd be fine, but then I'd have to take my next dose again, and then my I forget what liver reading it was, but that was continually was going up, and so after a month of trying the methotrexate, I had to switch to the infusions.
Yeah. I was on methotrexate for about 3 days. I got the blood work and my liver enzymes. I think it was ALT, just
Mhm.
exploded. It went from like
Oh wow, yeah,
4 to
yeah.
120, and they're like, no, 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 no. Not
Oh,
for you.
that's insane. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's really
he's like, if you didn't take your dose today, don't take it. I'm like, all right.
No.
yeah. Mine never got above 70, so but still, it was started at like 35, and then they're like, well, it's going up, but as long as it doesn't go above 60, and then it just continued to go up each week. So,
Yeah.
and that's scary though, 120 with the liver or whatever. I mean, I know.
Yeah. He's like, no, this isn't for you. And then they took a while to find a new steroid sparing agent. I ended up with Cellcept. There's another chemotherapy drug.
Okay, I'm doing Remicade infusions is what they have me on right now.
All right. Well,
They're,
welcome, Dawn.
Hi.
Is this your first time with us?
Yes, I'm on a webinar. Here.
Oh, you're the tour of the house. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Another bird.
so
Yeah.
there's a chat feature, and if you type your email in the chat box, our support group here, our office support, will send you a reminder email every month with the link on it, as well as
Oh,
some of the other stuff that
fantastic.
they do at ANCAN. Yeah. So if you just type your email in there, you'll get on the distribution list.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Um, I retired to Arkansas.
Okay.
Um, I was diagnosed in 2010, pulmonary sarcoidosis, and prednisone for many years. When I retired in 2017, I took myself off prednisone. After gaining almost 60 pounds.
Yep.
oh yeah.
I, I like food, but right now I'm just managing it with nebulizer because I also have bronchiectasis.
Oh, me too.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
But yeah, we just walk when we can and cough a lot and whatever. Oh, hi, Regina.
She's getting
You guys
herself.
know each other?
No, no.
Oh,
Yeah, she just wants to be friendly.
just being
Yeah,
that
Can
friendly
y'all hear me?
Midwesterner.
yeah.
Can y'all hear
Yeah,
me?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. I'm
So,
still in the middle of cooking.
Okay.
Uh,
what you making for us?
Hamburgers and roasted cauliflower.
Oh, nice.
Is the
very good.
cauliflower from your garden?
I wish.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my garden is like very slow and growing this year, but it's growing.
Okay.
Imagine the heat's not helping very much, and that's not
No,
helping. It's not helping my sarcoidosis any. That's for sure.
tell me
No.
about it. Whew.
Yeah.
What does the heat do? I'm unfamiliar with what heat does to sarcoidosis, I guess.
I just get really clammy sometimes. Like I just feel like a little chill and just uncomfortable, and like I'm just burning up. It just
Oh,
sometimes I just can't regulate, so I can't stay outside very long unless I'm on a boat. Then
Mm.
it seems to go away.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
You
I've been
found the
dealing with
remedy.
major headaches.
Yeah.
With the heat?
Yeah.
Yes, and they've been going on for probably 2 months now, and I've been living on Tylenol. So I've finally got a hold of a neurologist, and let me tell you, I can't get in until October 9th, and there is not a neurologist in my city that deals with sarcoid. So that's why nobody ever picked me up since April the 1st. So they had to put it in as other headaches so I can get in. And now I'm on the emergency list for cancellations.
Mm,
Very good.
So
that's called
no sar,
advocating.
huh?
That's called advocating,
Mhm.
Thank you.
right? Can you get me on the list?
I
Yep.
told him, look, I said, let me tell y'all what. I take 3 Tylenols a day, every day, just to relieve my headache. And I'm telling
Ouch.
you what, I'm already on gabapentin and I'm on topiramate. And she said, those don't work. I said, no, they do what they're supposed to do. These are different kinds of headaches. I know what a migraine is because I've been living with migraines all my life. So my migraine medicine do what it's supposed to do. Gabapentin does what it's supposed to do. But these headaches, no. I've already been in the emergency room once. I was about to go to the emergency room again, and but I kind of have it under control right now. So, but I have a headache now.
Hmm. Does staying in the air conditioning help at all?
Yes, it does. So I pretty much live under my air. But my mom thinks that it's just related to the weather changes, and like you, Kevin, it's hard to adjust,
Mhm.
when the weather changes. So,
Yeah. In 2021, was in the middle of a flare up and I could not go outside if it was over 80 degrees. It was
Hmm.
too hot.
Oh
I
my
would just be
gosh.
uncomfortable and be like, nope, 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 I'm going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
Got
lot of
better as the
sweatiness.
flare up subsided.
I had a lot of sweatiness like you with my numb hand until like when it was like my whole hand was numb and stuff like that. But luckily, with it only being in my thumb now, the sweating is not as bad as it was. Like just like always, just sweating from the numbness, pretty much. So.
Mhm.
oh, what's wrong with your hand, Aaron?
Oh, it's numb because I have neurosarcoidosis in my
Okay.
C3, C4 area. And so it was mostly like this part of my hand right here and then my thumb and then this finger, but the
Hmm.
whole hand part has and it would go up my arm too and up to my shoulder when I worked out.
Oh,
That's what made it an emergency, but it's not in my hand area anymore since I started receiving treatment.
nerve pain is so bad.
Mhm.
It's luckily not pain though. It's luckily it's no, there's been that's everybody's just like what's your level of pain, and I just like think that's the craziest question because I have only had numbness. I haven't been in pain the entire time, so it's
Oh,
just bizarre,
very good.
honestly.
Put that on your great gratitude list.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Nerve
exactly.
pain, no joke.
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All
Okay.
right. So
He's going
Don,
right.
Aaron, have they found sarcoidosis anywhere else other than your primary spot?
Yeah, before they did that, it's in my lungs for sure. I probably have had that. Who even knows how long? I've had that. I used to have really bad coughing spells all the time when I'd wake up in the morning. And that goes back to like 15 years ago even. And the climate change, moving out to Phoenix, actually did help a lot with my coughing issues and my coughing spats, and I didn't have those as much. But you know, it somehow moved from my lungs to way up my spine. I don't even know how it skips most of my spine and then goes all the way up to the C3 C4. But they've done brain scans, they've done the heart stuff, they've tested all my organs or whatever. So just the one spot besides my lungs.
How about you, Don?
Um, I haven't had any PET scans or anything, but as far as the C4, I had fusion. That's why my voice is messed up. I had fusion of my C5 through 7. So, but no, as far as I know, it's only pulmonary. Yeah. If nothing else is bothering me, I don't want to know.
Right?
Yeah.
Take the win.
So, Catherine, when did you find out you had sarcoidosis and bronchiectasis?
Well, sarcoidosis, my son was about 6. He's about a little over 20 years for sarcoidosis. It was found actually dermatologically for me first. I had a rash and it looked like something was very, very dry. And doctor was like, oh, you just have dry skin. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, listen, my mother and my grandmother, no, I don't have dry skin. So then he sent me for an x-ray, which started everything from there. I got a double punch biopsy. First one came back inconclusive. Second one came back inconclusive, but possibility of sarcoidosis.
Ah.
So, but they still had there was something in my lung, there, every lymph node. It looked like I glowed in the dark, like a Christmas tree.
On your PET
So,
scan?
yeah, so that was my first PET scan. So bronchiectasis, I'm adopted. They've all heard this before, except for Aaron. But I'm adopted. My brother was adopted, and of course, my mother was the adopted. She died of bronchiectasis. My pulmonary fibrosis.
No.
Huh. So I got diagnosed with bronchiectasis after my mom passed, which was about 5 years ago. So,
Mm.
but I also have cardiac sarc, so I'll be heading over to the Cleveland Clinic again. Regina, holler!
My sisters are gonna party.
Yeah. So I have to go back at the very beginning of September to get a PET scan of my heart because I've been super tired. I really just been dragging butt. I've already blown through all those infusions. I've also not done well on IVIG, and the last one is Simponi Aria, which I don't think it's doing anything. So, but there are some things coming up the ladder that Cleveland's doing. One of them is called sirolimus. It's a tablet for those of
Ah.
us who have multi-sarcoidosis and nothing else works. And it's a drug that you take if your organ is transplanted and it's not taking.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so they're
Take the
thinking,
injection,
yeah, and this is the third trial that Cleveland's been going under. So one more dose of Simponi Aria in August. If it still doesn't show there, I'll be the first one to try sirolimus in the real world.
Nice.
Yes
Ooh.
and no, if that makes any sense. You know me,
Yeah.
I want to stay off meds, but
Hey, a new drug.
I've been
Yeah.
on the zone,
With all
so
of its side effects and
yep,
yeah.
yep. So it's been a long battle, but you know what? I'm still here, and Regina can't get rid of me yet. She says no.
Yay.
So I went to the Cleveland Clinic. What month was that? Do you remember?
March.
So in March, we
That
had,
long ago? Wow.
yeah, it seems like yesterday. So I was with
Mhm.
the Foundation for Sarcoidosis Research, and we had conferences. So
Mhm.
I stayed an extra, I think 4 days, right, Regina? I stayed an extra 4 days, and I was seen by every specialist at Cleveland Clinic. And
Oh.
then I was able to, Regina drove 4 hours to me just to
Aw.
see me and spend another 4 hours. We did some walking around, we did some sightseeing. We found this really cool place for food. It looked like a little hole in the wall, and it was delicious. And then Regina, I offered, Regina to stay, but she didn't want to, so she drove another 4 hours home. So that's what you call sarcoidosis buddies,
Yeah.
right, Regina?
Oh
When
yeah, it doesn't seem. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You tell people what you have, and they just have no
You
clue
look
what you're.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, exactly.
yeah,
You can never tell by looking at you.
yeah.
I know.
You slept
Exactly.
10 hours. You should be good to go today, Aaron, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So
Exactly.
Aaron,
That's what the lady at the neurologist desk said when I called her yesterday. We were on the phone for like 30 minutes. She said, "You have what? That's not one of the symptoms that we treat. So we better just say other headache."
Hey,
And the whole department is a neuroscience department. You got to be kidding me. They don't treat sarcoid there?
no,
Really? Oh, now
neurologists,
I have to
neurologists don't really seem to
reappoint.
know much about sarcoidosis, in
No,
my opinion.
no.
don't come to my city, okay? Because nobody in the city. And I was talking to my heart doctor and my pulmonologist. Now, my pulmonologist is the one I was diagnosed in 1994. He was the one that diagnosed me
Wow.
with sarcoid. So, because I have to get local insurance, I was prematurely or forced to retire. So, I've only been retired 7 months. I had to get my own insurance. So, I went back to my old doctor who I found him, he was still practicing, who diagnosed me in 1994. I picked him back up. He was surprised. So we reintroduced ourselves. Then I found a doctor right here in my home city that I found out back in 2018, found out he had cardiac sarc. I picked him up as my heart doctor because I purposely wanted to meet him so that we can, because I thought he would be more sympathetic, because he has cardiac sarc. And then,
Mhm.
um, as I explained to him a lot of my problems, the ER, my primary care, the cardiac sarc doc, all and the pulmonologist, all of them put a call into neurology to pick me up.
Wow.
Neither one of them, nobody in neurology picked me up. I made that phone call finally yesterday. I said, "What's going
Good.
on?"
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, well, we don't even see this all the way back from April 1st." I said, "Well, that call was put in April 1st from my pulmonologist. Nobody picked me up." They said, "Well, let me go look into your record because it's all in one group, medical group, right?"
Mhm.
Mhm.
So they looked and she said, "Well, I see the one from the 14th and I see the one from here. The one from the 14th was from the ER visit, and the other one was from my primary care. So they don't see the one way back from April." Well, those stay on the record for a whole entire year. So I don't understand why they don't see that from April. I have my paperwork. When I called, I had all of my paperwork with me. So
Good.
Good for you.
anyway, so they scheduled that appointment for October the 9th. Like I said, well, y'all heard what I said earlier. So now I'm on the emergency list just in case there's a cancellation between now and October 9th. So whoever cancels, I will get in a lot sooner than most people will. Because I
Good.
think when I said I'm taking all this Tylenol every day and I'm taking it 2 or 3 times a day, no. And then the lady gonna have the nerves to say, "Well, can't you get your doctor, your primary care doctor, to give you?" I said, "No, because I'm taking these other medicines, and I'm not trying to get addicted to anything. I'm
Mhm.
already taking Tylenol, and I have a rare health condition. Do you not get it through your head?" So yeah, that's when they did all of this.
Mhm.
That's when she did all this stuff and put me at the top of the list, because then she felt like it really was an emergency to get me in beforehand. Anyway, so I was diagnosed in 1994. I have neurosarc, I have skin sarc, I have lung sarc. I do not have cardiac or any of that stuff, but I do have stomach issues, and I have joint issues. All that's from sarcoidosis. So,
Yep.
and I'm on infusions every 4 weeks. I do take Remicade, gabapentin, Celebrex, or not Celebrex. What is it? Um, Mycophenolate.
Okay.
Also,
Um, Cellcept. Thank you. That's what it is. I do take that, and I take that mycophenolate because my body has a tendency to push all types of medications out of my system. Um, so they give me that in order for me to hold that medication into my system so I can stay living, so to speak. That's terrible, isn't it? I've been on every treatment protocol prior to all this new stuff coming out. I've been on every one of the treatment protocols already. So
Mhm.
um, now I'm on the Remicade protocol. So I'm not on. I haven't tried any of the other new stuff because right now Remicade is working. So that's where I'm at right now.
right.
Can I ask you a question about the Remicade? Because
Yes.
I'm on Remicade too. And I would say like the first 5 days that after the infusions take forever. I feel like at least the first couple they were like 3 hours, and then now it's if we can get done in 2 hours, I'm happy. But the first 5 days or so, or 6 days, I'm totally fine. But then like the second week on the Remicade, it just really hits me hard. And the first week I'm fine, but the second week it really takes a lot out of me, and that's the worst week for me. Like day 10, something like that. Day 9, day 10 after it, that's when it really hits me the most. Anyways.
I think it depends on who the person is because my worst time is my first couple of days. And then
Okay.
after that, I'm like absolutely fantastically perfect. I'm perfect. I'm fine until that last week. Um, my body knows that it's almost time for that Remicade. And I call Remicade, I'm telling you, my joy juice because it gives me those 3 weeks of absolute stability in my
Normalcy.
life.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, after the final 2 weeks are really good for me, but that middle of the second week really drains me, and then after that, like I'm back to like my normal self, and I got energy, and then it just cycles through again when I have to
Yeah,
go four
but
weeks
I'm
later.
telling you, it's the first week. I could tell you the first time that they gave me Remicade, that very first week, I knew that's what I should have been on a long time ago because that very first week, I can tell a whole difference in my whole entire life. I called my
You could probably
gas.
feel it working as it was probably being like infused into you. I had that sort of feeling, anyways.
Yeah, I called my gastroenterologist because I was having like all this heartburn and
Oh,
all this everything was just out of sync, right? And I had a lot of stomach issues, gastroenterologist. I called him. I said, "Look, let me tell you what, because I was on a lot of that kind of medicine, omeprazole and all of that stuff. When they gave me that Remicade, all that crap went away. All that heartburn, all that stuff went away. You know what he asked me? Have you ever had a brain scan? I'm like, huh?
Yeah, I
What
I
do
had
you
brain scan.
do with that?
If my stomach hurts, you
what?
want to scan my brain?
But you
You
know
can't
what?
make this
And,
shit up.
and I said, you know what? No, I haven't. He said, well, I suggest you get one. The reason for that is because your brain is the one that tells your body what to do.
Yes.
And your body, it sends all those signals out and down and tells your body what to do and all that stuff. So I did, but it took me 2 years to get that brain scan because I was already feeling great. I'm like, I don't need no brain scan. I think by then, what if I had sarcoid in my brain? I think by then, in them 2 years, it was probably already healed. It was probably already gone. But in 2 years, I did get that brain scan. So, but I don't have sarcoid up there, so I must have that Remicade must have took care of it. So
Like what
Excellent.
what what are you guys' like they told me I was stage 2 when they diagnosed me of sarcoidosis. But, like, do they say anything to you about like stages or like anything like that?
I
The
don't believe in
staging system is
stages.
a little different. So stage one, so you don't go stage one,
Well,
two,
you
three, four.
know, what they told me.
It's not like that. Stage
I think it's
Okay.
four
for lungs.
is end stage, and it's just for lungs.
Oh, that's just for lungs. Okay.
Just for lungs. They call it the cladding stages, and
All
stage
right.
one
Yeah.
is infiltrates. You can see it shows up on an X-ray. Two is worse. Three is getting bad, and four is fibrosis when it's
Oh, okay.
all
Yeah.
spread.
I was only stage 1 then, is what he said. But because I had the lesion in my neck, they upgraded me to stage 2. Just
Don't give that
I,
any credence. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean
No,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let it go.
That's not the way it works. So
I
okay.
don't believe in stages.
no.
I just, I kind of just don't agree with stages. That's just me.
I didn't know if like you had it in a different part of the body, it was worse, and you'd be like a stage 3 or something like that.
No,
I had no.
it's strictly for the lungs, as from like 100 years ago when they first noticed that there was like four distinct um, showings on imaging. So they
Hmm.
came up with a staging system, thinking it was a progressive disease, but it's not the way it works. You can go one, two, and then back to one, and like it can
Hmm.
clear. It can get to
Yeah, your
one,
lungs can heal
four if it
itself.
just burns out in one area of your lungs. You can get fibrosis.
Yeah, if you remember Jim, he was on here and he was said they put him as stage 3 years ago. And then a couple of years ago, it's gone. He's in
Yeah.
complete remission. So every once in a while he'll jump on a call just to say hi to everybody. Actually, he was supposed to go back to the doctor, wasn't he, Kevin? Oh,
Yeah, he's doing his annual checkup thing, but
yeah,
he's still in remission. He's doing good.
good.
He's
Very
like me.
good.
He's got it in his heart.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Aaron,
when I went
I
to,
wanted to share something with you.
Okay.
So we're talking about your fatigue, and sometimes it's just the distinction I've heard that really helped to solidify it for me is called spooning.
That's exactly. My girlfriend already researched it, and she's heard
So
the
you only get
spoon,
so many spoons of energy in certain days,
but she
and
still doesn't get the spooning. She doesn't, even though she's heard
no,
it,
that's
and
not
we.
what you're doing in bed. No. Spooning.
No, it's not the spooning in bed. I'm talking about
You
like
gotta
for
be
like
careful because spooning can
cup.
lead to forking. So you better bring
Yeah.
your condiments.
No,
Oh my God.
no. I would think like spoons are the same as cups, right? Like we that's the way we had it explained to us. Is
Yeah,
like you
so
only
many
have so
spoons
many
of energy.
spoons
And if
a day.
you use
Mhm.
an extra spoon, you start the next day with a deficit sometimes. And you
Yeah,
get
Hmm.
like this
exactly.
effort hangover where you just don't got it the next day. I mean, I
Uh,
went through all
that,
kinds of
that's
stuff when I was in my flare up. And like
that's
I would exert
exactly
myself
right.
in a crisis and I would be shot for 3 days because I used up all my spoons.
Oh, yeah, I understand completely where you're coming from. Like, I mean, like now that I'm in treatment and stuff, like, I can do one event a day, no big deal, but like you throw like just the other day, like my girlfriend's from the Netherlands, and we went to the bar to watch Netherlands versus Turkey and the Euro Cup,
Yep.
and that was fine. It was fun. Spent a couple hours out, no big deal. But then later that night, we had a game night that we were supposed to go to. That was going to be another couple hours, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do this game night, man. Like 2 events in one day is a struggle bus for sure.
Struggle
yeah,
bus. I'm going to nick that.
yeah, I like that word too. I'm going to tell you today, I spend all day with my daughter. I get up every morning. I go pick up my granddaughter, take her to her summer activity. But today I did that. Then I took my daughter to the grocery store. I had to go buy a dryer because my dryer went out.
Mm.
And yeah, that's a whole new story in itself. And I would tell you, I'm looking at my watch because I have a watch that tells me how many steps I put in today. So I put in 13,476 steps today. And let me tell you what, I'm beat down right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I will do tomorrow is go and pick up my granddaughter, take her to her summer program, and then I will be sitting all day tomorrow. I will not probably do much of anything. I'm
Yeah,
tired right now.
that's
I
exactly
just
what I was gonna say is like, the things that are routine, those don't really take a cup away from me. If, things that
right.
I've been doing for years, like, even like you would think like me going to do a workout for like an hour, I've been doing that for like the last 30 years of my life, working out for an hour. So like, there's no mental struggle with that. There's no, but like, and I can go do that. And I come home and my girlfriend's like, you got to pick up your daughter from our daughter from McDonald's, and then and I'm not sure what time that's going to be, and you text her and you figure out when the right time. That gives me more anxiety and more crazy stress than going to work out for an hour. Trying to mentally figure out all that stuff that's the hard part.
Wading
Mhm.
through the soup.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do we go?
Throw 8 steps into something that shouldn't be 8 steps.
Mhm. Should be simple.
Yeah, don't get ready for a trip because I got a business trip at the end of this month, and I'm preparing for that, and I got too much going on right now, and my brains are already fried. I'm going to
Luckily,
Atlanta.
I
Hotland.
mean, you got to take trips though. I mean, I just got back from a trip myself. We went to Europe because my girlfriend's from the Netherlands, and we went to see her family. And I got my infusion right before we went. And then I had to delay it a little bit. My doctor said it was okay. It doesn't have to be on the 30 days on the dot or whatever. Luckily, but I mean, I'm telling you, there are some tough days, but then I'm still glad I went on the trip though, even with the tough days. So
Hmm.
Mine's going to be rough because it's going to be during the week that it's going to be like a few days right before I got to have my infusion,
Oh
and I'm
no.
Oh.
and I'm driving.
Oh,
This is some of the craziness of sarcoidosis. Like, look how it affects your plans. Like, you got to
yeah,
It
plan around
does.
your infusion or your spoons or your,
there's
it's just you have to adapt.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know about the spoons thing at all, but like it totally made sense to me. And like as soon as I heard it, I'm like, that's 100% true.
Hmm.
But like explaining it to somebody that just they don't lose spoons, they got the same amount of spoons. They could even like take a nap and get some extra spoons. Like I take a nap, like
or
I
they
might
can just borrow
I
them
might
from
lose
tomorrow, and they should
a nap.
magically show up.
I might wake up from a nap and be like, I'm just going back to sleep. I lost a couple spoons just by
Yes,
napping.
sir.
yeah,
Whenever, whenever I take a nap, I love taking naps, by the way. But whenever I take a nap, I wake up and my brain is so
fog.
mushed. It's just
Mhm.
Oh,
a
like
total
foggy.
brain. It's just like walk around like whoa.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be sleeping so hard, I'll wake up and I'll be like, man, which room am I in again? Like I'm like looking at the
What
ceiling. I'm
day
like,
is
all right,
it?
gotta check my bearings here because I slept so hard.
So do you have any questions for some seasoned sarcoidosis sufferers?
Um, I'm sure I do. Let me just like, I mean, like really, like just the fatigue in the cups and just like honestly, I don't know how to explain it to anybody, but it's just like every day. I can't say like this week I'm gonna be good or tomorrow I'm gonna be
No.
fine. Like I don't know how I'm gonna be until I wake up that morning.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Correct.
That's the truth.
Hmm.
Yes.
There's days where you don't even get sleep.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm, I
yeah.
mean, it's just the God honest truth.
Hmm.
There's days where I can be up at least a good 48 hours.
Yeah.
I've,
I,
Just
I
I
I've
just
never
agree.
can't
got
sleep.
sleeplessness. Usually it's the complete opposite for me. I've thankfully I haven't had the sleeplessness like you're saying. That sounds awful.
Right.
Mhm.
Hi, hi, Alexa. Alexa is part of AnCan, who let us use this space for free. So everybody say hi.
Nice. Hi, Alexa.
Oh,
Alexa's the best.
Hi, hi. It's been a while since I popped in. I wanted to come say hello, so I'm just popping in
Alexa,
here
stop.
tonight.
Sorry,
Oops.
my Alexa
Happens
will
a
get
lot.
Oh.
Happens a lot. It has happened probably in every single group, and it is really funny
I
every
wasn't
time
talking
that
to you.
something
I'm
happens.
sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
That was too
Nope,
funny.
I get it. It happens all the time.
Did you know you were going to be
so
world?
so do you guys all go to the Cleveland Clinic then? Is that where like is the closest place for treatment for sarcoidosis
I
for you
used
guys?
to. I used to, but my insurance now will not allow me until I turn 65, and that'll be in about a year and a half.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, at least you know what you like. I had a real long treatment diagnosis period because for 6 months they thought that it was cancer.
Oh, I hear
So,
that so often.
Yep.
so
Mhm.
yeah, epidemioma or whatever is what they thought it was. And so like
Lymphoma.
that was probably the worst is when we thought it was cancer, and then we're talking about having to have a surgery because we thought it was cancer. But honestly, there's one guy who he's not even at the he was one of the second opinion places, but he's just like, and I didn't know at the beginning because this is the first month or two when I was going through it, but he's just like, we're still in the diagnosis phase. You don't want to rush to have a surgery, on a cancer or anything like that. When we're just in the diagnosis phase,
Thank
and
God you
like,
didn't. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
thank goodness, because with sarcoidosis, you go in there, you have surgery, come right back.
Oh wait. Congratulations. You don't have cancer. You have
Yeah.
Yeah.
sarcoidosis.
We have this thing that's not as we're not even going to say it's not as bad as cancer. It's just
No,
No.
you can't say that.
No, I
It
can't.
No.
is. It is
that
different
I
for
was actually
sure.
talking to somebody who was diagnosed with a treatable cancer just recently, and he's like, well, Aaron, he can use the C word because he goes and gets infusions all the time, and he was almost diagnosed with cancer, and he knows about the treatments and stuff, and so like it's just a crazy world of just it's feel like it's sort of like cancer adjacent almost, just
It's
depending.
worse. So at least with cancer, like you get your chemotherapy, your hair falls out, and everyone's like, "Oh, you have cancer. I'm so sorry." With sarcoidosis, it's like you look fine. Just get some rest. You'll be okay. It's like
Yeah,
no.
Just push yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
Why do you cough all the
exactly.
time?
Hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw
And then
this Chat GPT generated poem on sarcoidosis,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
was spot on. I'm gonna have
oh
to.
yeah,
I'm gonna do a quick search for it while we're talking. I'll put it in the chat, but it was spot on. It was
Hmm.
really good.
Oh.
I can only imagine. Yeah, 'cause the other thing that's real, I don't know if it's bothersome or whatever, but like when I go and get these infusions, man, the nurses like they want you. They're just like, so while you taking the Remicade, this isn't the like you're not the normal type of person who takes this type of drug, and like they're trying to like get me to share or whatever, and I just want to be like, dude, you got my file right there. You can
Yeah.
read like
Look it up.
read what this is just as easily as anybody else. Like I'm not gonna really be able to tell you much more than what's in my file. Like it's this thing called neurosarcoidosis. I don't really know what else to tell you.
Then they go, what?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just like that's the thing. Like, is just having to tell it over and over again, and everybody just shrugging their shoulders like they don't really know what's going on. And and I will tell you the worst part was too, because it's the first time I had to work with the diagnosis was and I'm gonna go and get on FMLA too shortly too. And my girlfriend can get on it too, just in case she has to take off time as well. But just people started noticing when I took the prednisone that things were not right. And they're just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like,
I'm sorry,
Then
I'm
I
laughing.
started.
Everybody
No,
knew when I was on prednisone.
oh yeah. And then I started just growing out my facial hair and stuff because I'm like, I don't want to deal with these questions. Like I was still working out like an hour a day and putting on 3 pounds in a week, on prednisone, like workouts didn't even matter. So
No.
It doesn't. Let's see.
Yeah, prednisone sent me to the nut house.
I don't know
Mood
how it does that.
stabilizers, antidepressants, and then the show really started.
I was so angry. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
God, angry and on a dime, like boom,
Yes.
Oh yeah. You
like a
you
live wire.
Yeah,
you try and do 20 things at once and you wouldn't finish any of them either on.
The mania was
I
insane.
I usually kind of say that I see the train going and it's going to crash into somebody. I can't stop
No.
it.
No. And I was teaching during those years. I
Oh,
was like, "Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, kids. I'm sorry."
oh, that must have been horrible
Yeah.
for you. I mean, for you,
Oh, well, yeah.
they survived. For
I
you,
retired early.
don't blame
I'm a teacher too, so I feel your pain.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah. I mean that I just didn't like the prednisone forcing like there'd be like teachers' aides that'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I just be like, I wouldn't even know what to say to them really.
me.
No.
I just need a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna grow my facial hair out. Maybe you won't notice my fat, round cheeks anymore, and you know, just trying to stay positive is the biggest key.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And this is why we love this group is we've been together for so many years and we love being there for other people and then have you keep going and sometimes my husband should come on. Sorry, did I say that loud enough? Should I do it again? Husband.
If he loved you, he would come on.
Oh, now that's bad, Kevin. Kevin said if you loved me, you'd come over
Drop
and
the
be
mic.
part of the group. Yeah, I'm allowed to do that. Oh, he's up.
Oh, there he comes. In now.
Hi.
So this is my support system. How you doing? And
Oh.
he doesn't
Great.
Well,
fully understand about everything, but he tries to give me leeway. I get mad at
Are
myself.
your angel wings starting to sprout through your shirt?
Yeah, you see them? See the white feathers going?
yeah, I would say that's another big thing is just not being able to do all the stuff that you want to do and just having to take it easy too
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah, yeah. And he
Yeah.
just said when he hears the freight train coming, he runs the other way or tries to.
Oh yeah, like I'm like I need to be by myself right now. I need to mentally get right myself before I can even have dinner.
Yeah. Days like that. Yes.
Regina, you have your hand up. Did you want to interject
Yes,
something here?
because I wanted to comment on something that Aaron was talking about on FMLA.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aaron, did you say you still work?
Yeah, still working.
Okay, yeah, I do suggest you get FMLA,
Yeah,
but
that's
I
the
also
next step. I mean,
please do. But also be careful about talking about your illness at work and
okay,
uh, yeah, because I'm going to tell you, although I was open with my boss, I had a decent and good boss, but in
yeah,
the end, I had a choice of retiring or being fired.
well,
Wow.
So
that's
I
terrible.
took the high road and I just retired. So because they knew I had a rare health condition, so just be careful about who
Mm-hmm.
you talk to and um, you
Yeah,
know,
only told really two people, and one of them has doesn't have neurosarcoidosis, but has like I forget what you call the diseases that attack your immune system or
yes.
whatever.
I
Just
yeah,
Autoimmune.
something. different.
I was able to help a lot of people and talk to people about the insurance and what the insurance does and how they laser tag you and do all that stuff in the background. And I was able to give them help. And I
Yeah,
think people at my job kind of knew that because they knew I was a shark at helping people. Because people would come to me and ask me, hey, what's going on? I would let people know that for some of their medications that they can get help with some of their medications because I'm an advocate, I
yeah,
Right.
advocate for people. And
you
I
have
think
to.
that's probably one of the reasons why, you know, some things happen that, I no longer work where I work at. But people need help. And so your insurance, I'm going to tell you right now, on the back end, you're already tagged as having rare health.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can tell you that right now. I'm just going to let you know that. You're already tagged. So just be careful who you speak to and talk to about your health
Yeah.
issues.
Until
Okay?
I,
you're ready to leave, and then
Yes.
just all the fireworks out.
yeah. I'm not.
feel like prednisone
I'm
is
really
more
only told my
safer.
boss about it, and that's when I thought I had cancer. Is when I told my boss about it. So, then
Yeah,
I thought
because yeah, I'm
you.
sorry to interrupt.
No,
Because you
no,
get
you. Go ahead.
Remicade, it's a specialty medication. That's how they tag you because you're on a specialty medication.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
how you're
yeah.
tagged because your
Hmm.
insurance don't pay won't pay for it.
No,
Do
my
you get
insurance.
do your insurance pay for it?
It pays for most of it, like I would say like 80% of it, and then
Okay,
I have a grant through Janssen where they'll pay for whatever insurance didn't cover
good.
up to a certain amount in a year, and but
Okay.
I've already hit my high deductibles, so
But just know that you are tagged
Hmm.
because of that.
oh,
Yep.
for sure, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just that, yeah. Like when March or April hits, I already meet my high deductible, and then the bills, mail doesn't even post them to me because they're all fully paid for, thankfully.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
before we leave, could you put your email down because that beautiful woman, Alexa, puts it into this thing, and then we all just get emails every month.
Oh, can
Okay.
I plug my book in?
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
Yes, because when I see you again, you're signing it.
Are you going to bring it?
Whoa!
Okay. Where do I put my email in?
You see the
Oh,
chat box?
do you see a
Okay.
It's
chat?
up at the top right hand corner
Yes.
where the two little boxes are. Just click that, and then on the bottom it says send a message on the bottom.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Regina, you're the
So
bomb.
All right,
this is
Regina's
my
up.
book, huh?
This is a public service announcement.
This is my book. It's called To Hell with Sarcoidosis, and it is written in poetry form. Can you guys see that?
Yep,
Hmm.
perfect.
Yes.
Okay, and it is kind of like my journey. And if you open the book up, it is written in two different ways, in two different sections: living with it and dealing with it, and then living with it. And you also can write in the book, and it is found on Amazon.
Ooh. Cool.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations for doing that. That must have been difficult, honestly.
Hmm.
yeah, but it was difficult but easy. I mean, well, publishing it was difficult. Writing it, it
Yeah,
was
that's what I mean. Like the whole process of everything, just
yes. So it does have poem. I'm showing you written lines, but there are poems in here. Trust me.
There are.
Yeah,
thank you for sharing that. I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
have to,
there's one poem right here.
I will check it out on Amazon. Very good.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is on Amazon,
Is
and
it more of a workbook to help, like the poems kind of bring up a topic and
And then it gives you,
really get in touch with the emotion of that topic, and then you can kind of workshop your feelings about it and get
yes.
on to the next one. It's just a way of processing,
Yeah,
especially
a
if you're
lot of
new
people
to
think
it.
I should do a class on it, a workshop on it. I'm thinking about doing that.
I could be your speaker.
Huh?
I could be your speaker.
But I
I
really am thinking about doing that. Probably not this year, but maybe next year. And I'm also getting ready to put out another book here real soon too. So
good.
when I'm not so busy, but I have enough material to put out another book. So
Well,
Is,
congratulations.
thank you.
yes.
Can't wait to
So
see number 2. All right.
so in September, Kathleen.
Yes,
Okay,
Nice.
send me details.
Send
I
You
pictures.
already know I'm coming.
Yeah, so usually what I do for you guys who, 'cause I'm coming to Arizona next year too. um, what I usually do is put it up on my Facebook. Hey, I'm heading to the Cleveland Clinic. Anyone around? And sometimes I get to meet brand new people. I met this woman named Kathy who comes from all the way upstate. And yeah, she's a sarcoidosis patient. So I, wherever I go to, I always type that up. I meet for coffee, whatever. And that's how Regina knew I was coming. And she's like, hello.
I will say though that I'm probably super lucky compared to most people of the Mayo Clinic being 15 minutes away from where I live and
Yeah.
a sarcoidosis, treatment center there, and just like
Hmm.
hearing all this stuff of just like, Cleveland Clinic was all there was for like the longest time, and if you didn't go there, I mean, you're just shit out of luck, unfortunately.
Well,
I
I'm
have,
gonna tell you what, I didn't mind driving the 4 hours
yeah.
Where are you
because I
guys
knew I
from?
was
I'm,
gonna get
I'm
good
originally
care.
from Michigan, so
I'm on Long Island, New York.
okay. Only
So
4 hours
Yeah,
drive
I'm
to
right here. I'm
Cleveland.
in Indiana, so but
yeah,
Um,
I'm like 30 minutes from Ohio, so
yeah, yeah. I know the Midwest.
and
The
actually,
University of Chicago used to have a really good
they did.
sarcoid
Yeah.
unit. I don't know if it still does,
Mhm.
but when I was up north, it was good.
Yeah.
FSR has a new network of sarcoidosis centers,
Hmm.
and
And
they're supposed to be sharing information and research, and
Good.
Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic. I used to go to Jefferson in Philadelphia,
Mount
and
Sinai.
they're recently admitted into that program. So there's a lot more of them than there were 5 years ago, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
And FSR is
definitely.
really
Nice.
making a difference in that space in
Mhm.
pulling people together and bringing up more clinical trials and more sharing between doctors and things like that. So it seems like it's getting a little bit better. We're getting a little more information, a little more here and there, and hopefully 5 years from now we'll be like, you remember when it was so confusing?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
You talk about nodules? What?
Yeah, I had the same thing on my lungs. Every single one lit up when I had that scan too. So they went in and they tried to do a sample in my lungs, and they just stopped after the first nodule and were like, we're good. We don't even, like, it was a 5 minute procedure. We don't even need to go any farther. That's such an easy diagnosis.
That's
well,
good.
I've never had a PET scan. All I had was the bronchoscopy and a lymph
Me,
node removal. That was it.
me too. Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
That's where I
haven't had
started.
that.
I started with a lymph node firing in 2000. Inconclusive. Congratulations, it's not cancer.
Mhm.
And then 10 years later, they got it in my ring finger. They did a biopsy and went, you need to see a pulmonologist. I'm like, but it's in my finger. They did a bronchoscopy. Like, yep, that's it.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it was 10 years of a great big nothing burger. No
Mhm.
That,
medications,
that's the hardest.
nothing.
That's the hardest part because they have to like cancel out all these things before they'll
It's
even.
a diagnosis of exclusion.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I
you
was
have.
fortunate. They found it in my finger, and they're like, "What?" And I
Mm.
went straight to a sarcoidosis. I so many people we've had on these calls talk about years of misdiagnosis with
Yes.
cancer and this and that, and,
Keep
don't
that right.
know. And, you know, I was fortunate in that respect.
Yeah.
Well, I did have one success story in someone knowing what sarcoidosis was. So my girlfriend's aunt, she's like, "Wait, sarcoidosis? They always go to sarcoidosis on the show House when they don't
Yeah,
know what the thing is."
you
They're
don't know
like,
what it is. Just yell out
"What's
sarcoidosis. You'll look like
sarcoidosis?
a genius.
We haven't thought about that yet on the show House." So she actually knew. She had heard about it through that show.
Yeah. Actually, my girlfriend now knows a guy up in Fort Myers that is a cardiac sarcoidosis survivor and has had a heart transplant.
Wow.
Whoa.
Damn. Let's get him on
Wow.
the
Wow.
support group, He
Yes.
has a whole foundation. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That'd be nice to have him on.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm.
All right, guys. I gotta
Yeah.
get
It was so
going.
nice to
Thank
meet
you.
all
All
you
right.
guys.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you.
Hopefully we'll
And
see you next month.
yep,
All right,
All
sounds
exactly.
right.
good.
Thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
John.
Have a good evening,
Bye.
all.
All right, take
Bye.
care.
Bye,
Bye bye.
Regina. Bye, Aaron.
I'm
Aaron, you
ready to
hanging
eat.
around a bit?
I'm about ready to